Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tour review is going to be some Klein Tools bit sets. More specifically, they're the Proflex Klein Tools MODBOX bit sets. I ended up getting 3 of these. I've seen a few videos, but my Lowe's was super slow at putting them out. I got up early this morning, went to Lowe's. They finally put up that new Klein Tools end cap that everybody's been talking about. Had these bit sets sitting there along with some socket adapters, some other new tools, a swivel adapter, all kinds of things from Klein. So I picked up these 3 bit sets right here. In this video, I'm going to show you what's in these 3 sets. I'm going to show you how they work with MODBOX. I'm also going to show you maybe in some Vetos how they fit in some of the exterior pockets in case that's something you're curious about. And I'm also going to see how hard it is to get these stickers off there because that's a big deal to me. You know, you get a clear lid case, it's got this sticker on it. Does it come off easy? We're going to check that out as well. But first, let's go ahead and check out what's in these 3 sets. So these are the 3 sets they had at my Lowe's. I'm not sure if there's other ones out there because if you've tried searching around on Lowe's website, you know, it's very hard to find stuff that's new, stuff that you don't even know what to call it yet. But this one right here, the first one up is the Proflex 12-piece impact bit set 33801S. So very small and compact. Inside of this one, you have this little latch right here. This is the same on all 3 of them. That unlocks it, that locks it. So that's a little different than the MODBOX where that one kind of springs into action. This one doesn't do that. This is more of just a slide action. It stays unlocked or it locks. Flip that open. Basically, you have some bits, some Phillips slotted Torx. I'll go ahead and flip it around in the back. Right there is the bit assortment that's in this one. You can see there it is made in Taiwan as well. So you're going to get a bit holder, a little short one, and then you also get those bits. And then the nice thing is they give you some extra compartments because that's one of the few things that's missing in some of the MODBOX cases. There's not a lot of room to be able to put like your extra stuff in there with it if you want to. So they're showing you some examples. Wire nuts, little screws, some staples and stuff like that. These are just little cutouts. So if you get a knife in there, poke those out. That's just in there to give you an example. But those do come out. A little bit of glue on there, but it looks like it all came off with it. So that's pretty nice. So again, you just got to get in there, pull all those out. So those are coming out easy. So we'll see that. We'll go ahead and look at the outside here in a little bit. Now this nut driver or this bit holder right here is magnetic. Has a magnet in there. As far as if I put a bit in here, it does magnetize the bit itself as well and picks up that screw right there. I've got a panel screw, so that's nice. So again, overall, just some bits. It's more so about the case in my opinion, especially the way they lock together. And now in this one, you got a little bit of room. So if you're like me and you keep a little bitty box in your bag, couple wire nuts here or there in case you run into something, this might be able to change that over to that. So that's the first case. Second case is the Proflex 20-piece impact bit set 33001S. Kind of the same exact footprint. Open this up. This one's more of just storage. No bit holder, no nothing else. It does have some bits. You got some T25s, also some Phillips 2s. Let me see if it says... Yeah, that's all that's in there. So you get 10 of each one, 1-inch bits. But this would be the case, in my opinion, that you'd want to buy as an add-on. And if you don't want to run those bits, let me get a little magnetic pad out here just to throw these on so I don't have to pick them all up off my desk later. This one would be the one that, like, if you're going to just use it as a parts case. And again, this little piece in here is just an idea. You can take and get that out. Now, the glue did stick on that one. Let's see how hard it is to get the glue off. Yeah, so that's pretty easy, even if the glue does stick. And then it's got another one here. Now this one does have 2 little dividers right here, and you can kind of see some extra slots. Like there's one over here, which that one's really close to the edge right there. So I don't know what you'd end up sticking in there, but I guess that's just a storage spot in case you want to run something a little bit longer. So let me grab, say, like a... Here's an 11-1, half of an 11-1 to give you an idea of what would fit in that type of thing. So overall, I guess let me get you a measurement on the cases. Again, they're all 3 exactly the same. You're looking at 5 1/8 inches is what I'd call it on the length. And if I measure out here on the hinge over, you're looking at 3 1/8. And then thickness-wise, I'm going to call it 7/8 of an inch. And so that is the second one. To me, this one was $9.98. The first one I showed you was $9.98 as well. So both of them are $10. And this one's more of, in my opinion, you're going to get those bits with it if you want to use those, which those are 2 of the most common ones that I use in impacts and stuff like that. So it's nice to have extras, but this one's more of just a parts case. And then the last one that I picked up, this is the main one that I was looking for. This is the Proflex 23-piece tamper-proof impact bit set 33510S. So I currently run the DeWalt security bit set. I've had it since like 2018, I think, whenever I looked it up on Amazon. I think it was like $17. This one comes in at 15 bucks, a little bit cheaper, but that one's a 31-piece set as well. And I don't have it here with me. I was going to get it out of my truck, but I let somebody borrow it and I haven't got it back from them yet. So I think it's got a few extra bits in that one, but it is also a couple extra dollars. This one essentially has all the Torx, all the hex, and then the spanners. And again, this one's made in Taiwan, just the same as the rest of them are as well. Opens and closes the exact same way. And then you have all your bit sets in here, that same bit driver. So it's a magnetic bit driver, also magnetizes your bits. And you also still have one little small storage area up in here. They're giving you that example of a staple would fit in there. But again, you could put yourself something else, basically whatever would be maybe the thickness of a bit or something like that. Let me see if I take a bit out and lay it in there. If it still shuts, it does. So, and you still got a little bit of room. I can even see in there you still have a little bit of room. The bits come out fairly easy. So you just basically slide them in like that, fold them down, pull them up, pull them out. That's in every case that that has it as far as the bits in it. And as far as how these lock together, they just have this little spring clip right here. You lock it into this little groove, and then that's going to pull out, and then it's going to snap back and lock on those little tabs right there. I've got this one unlocked. So then that's going to keep them all together. I had that one unlocked too. So there's two of them together. Same thing with this one. You're going to take that spring, lock it into this little groove here until it pulls, push this down. Whenever that goes back, that locks all those into place. So there's those three, and it works exactly the same on the mod boxes as well. So you're just going to pull and lift up to get that off. So here's the existing mod boxes. You can see that same groove right here. Going to take, lock that in. It's going to pull down on that spring, wrap it around, and then that locks into place. So it still works not only with the other bit cases, but it also works with your mod boxes as well. But the thing I like about them is the size of the case. They're not overly big. It's almost like the bit cases for the DeWalt Tough Stack, and then Milwaukee also has a few of them as well. It's that same kind of thickness. So I think they're going to fit in more spots. Maybe they'll come out also with some half ones or something like that, although I don't see where they would be able to lock those into each other, so maybe not. So basically on your Veto bags, that's what I've got here at MCT. It's not really going to fit in any of the outside pockets, as nothing else really does either. You could put one in this flap here. If you left that flap up like that, that's about the only one that it's going to fit into. Of course, you could always put it inside the bag, or you can also still fit it in the smaller ones up here on the top. But man, it is a tight fit. Let me get a little view up there. Very tight fit. You probably wouldn't want to keep one there. SC45. So if you're running this as your kind of EDC type thing, I keep a Tool Check Plus is what I've got in mind on this side. But let's say you don't need that. You just want to run a bit case, or maybe you want to run that little compartment case or something like that. Put that in there with a few wire nuts or something like that, along with a couple bits. You can easily do that. It fits in there very nice. Where I actually use something like this is in my SPMC and this flap right here, so you can get to it from here, or that's also on the inside. If we fold this down, I've got a small little Wonka Runts tin where I keep like a few little wire nuts, a few Wagos, a few little screws, some 632s, 832s, all that kind of stuff. Just random stuff. So on a service call, if I open up a box and I need something, and if I compare that kind of to the size, so let's go to the compartment box on this. The Runts box is obviously smaller, so I might actually be able to fit more in here. Will this still fit inside of this? It absolutely will. It kind of is made for that pouch in a way. It's exactly the same size, so you could definitely run one inside of that if you wanted to. I don't think you could probably, let me get out my little, I've got all my little pipe wrench things. See if you could tuck one up in here. Yeah, so you could also tuck one up inside of there. That fits really nice, actually, like almost like it's made for it. Tucked up out of the way, pull that out. So that's another good spot. So I think they're really good for the SPMC. I don't know that I'm going to swap out my Runts 10 because it's kind of nostalgic to me. Let me see if I go ahead and take some of the stuff out of it though. It's going to get me a little while to, or it's going to take me a little while to get used to it not having the spring on it like the mod boxes. So let me say if I unlock that, open up my Runts 10, on whichever side I'm on here. So let me go ahead and put a few things in this and we'll see how this goes. So let's say I keep a couple Wagos, wire nut. Here's a 5 Wago. 2 5s fit perfectly inside of that little middle section right there. Or some old ones. I probably took that out of a light whenever I was working. Some spacers, screws. So all the same stuff is pretty much going to fit in here. But again, that 10's a little bit smaller. And because I don't have the dividers, but it's all kind of together, I can fit more in there. But then that means I also got to dig through it every time whenever I'm going through it as well. So definitely everything that was in this Runts 10, I'm for sure going to be able to fit in here. Even have a Phillips bit in there for some reason. So there's all the same stuff that was in that bin inside of here. Let's see if it shuts. See, my red and tan wire nut right there is a little bit too high, but I don't know if this is higher than the rest of it or not. I don't think so. I think it, so that might be your kind of determining factor right there. That might be as low as you can go. You can shut it with it in there, but you got to hold it shut and lock it, and then you can kind of see it's poked up a little bit. So take that in consideration. If you run, you know, bigger wire nuts quite a bit, it's probably not going to fit in there. Everything else, now that's fitting good. So that's kind of the idea for what you can't fit inside of one of these anyways. So SPMC, I feel like it's a really good fit, especially like something like that right there. So I could swap that out with my Runts box and put it either in here or tuck it up in here. And I never even really thought about putting it up in here, honestly. In fact, I'm probably going to swap my little Runts box if I don't use this. I'm probably going to start putting that up in there instead of inside of there. That's a really good fit for that right there. But that's the 3 sets, how they fit the mod box, how they fit in some Veto bags. Now let's check out the stickers, because again, it's a big thing for me. If somebody makes a clear case where the idea behind it is I want to be able to see what's in here, and then they put a sticker on it, sometimes that drives me crazy. So let's see how this comes off here. Super nice. No sticky residue, so good job on that, Klein. What about the backside? Because let's say I use this for something totally different. I don't need the Phillips 2 and T25 back here. I don't want this sticker back here anymore. So let's check out this one. Nice. So Klein did a good job on that. Sometimes I can't tell you how mad I get sometimes on certain cases I bought where I'm just like, man, that is ridiculous. How much WD-40 or whatever else I've got to spray, some goof off just to get the sticker residue off. I'm going to go ahead and do that on all 3 of them, see if we just got lucky or if that's actually good. Because I don't want these on there anyways. I'm going to be able to see what's in there. I don't need a sticker to tell me. That one's got a very little amount of residue, but then that wipes right off as well. Comes right off. Here's the third one. Oh, that one I got the top layer off and not the bottom. That shouldn't affect it, hopefully. Be some of that ASMR sticker pulling right here. And then here is the last one. But there you go, guys. There are 3 new bit sets from Klein, the MODBOX Proflex sets. I think they are a good value for $10 to get some bits, and then these cases are pretty useful, especially if you're running an SPMC, SC45, MCT, not so much, but nothing really fits in them outside pockets. And then for $15, a security bit set, that's really the one I wanted because I'm going to swap that with my DeWalt. This is going to take up a lot less room in the drawer of my truck than what that DeWalt one does height-wise. I'll be able to stack something else in there now and you know, basically have a whole nother bit set in my truck of some kind if I want to. But cases are nice, bits are nice, stickers come off easy, good storage options. I really like them. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you have these, what do you think about them? And then also, more than anything, if you've got a bit set of one of these that I'm not showing, drop the part number in the comments below, because again, it's very hard to search on Lowe's for new stuff. that you don't know is out there. So if you've got a set that I don't have, drop the part number so I can search it by that and see if I can find it that way. I'm really interested to see those as well. But as always, I hope this video was helpful in some way. Hope it was useful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next video.